Hello, grade 5. All right, I do have a webcam here, but I'm not showing you my face because I just don't look good. All right, January, next week, onward to division. Here we go, you guys. I wanted to put this in here, that the standards for division, because the algorithm, the standard algorithm, is not a part of the standard until 6th grade. If you read into it, it is all about place value and relating multiplication with division. So it is so easy to just jump to the standard algorithm. And man, you just so badly just want to jump there. Yet, this work from 4th and 5th grade gives them a stronger foundation in their place value skills. Maybe after 4th and 5th grade, they still don't really understand any of that. Then guess what? You're going to learn the algorithm in 6th grade. All right, so knowing that, Monday, if you need to, give them Unit 4 multiplication test. I have the division pre-test there too. It's hard because we have to spend some time giving that because I know you guys have liked having that data at the beginning and at the end. So I tried to make it more open and not take as long for a kid who's struggling through these. But so instead of requiring them to show every single one of these divisions, I just said, pick the one that seems best for you. Not too hard, not too easy. Remember, you guys, showing me what's the most you could possibly do with division. Okay? So if they're going to say, oh, I'm just going to do 24 divided by 4. Well, then you're showing me that in division, you can achieve, sorry, I've spent so much time on this. I'm just at that place where I'm laughing all the time. If you choose to do 24 divided by 4, then you're telling me you can achieve a basic fact. And that is awesome. Okay? So at this point, that's what you can do. Okay, awesome. Moving on. All right. Or maybe you're like, no, I can do more. All right, go ahead then. You just have to do one though. So maybe you just don't need to do 24 divided by 4. Maybe you pick a harder one. All right, then I did include a word problem, and this one does have a remainder, and everyone needs to try something on this one. Okay? All right. Then, in the decimal division part, this is holy moly, okay? I should put a picture of a seatbelt here to say buckle up. All right, but I'm not. Got a word problem here just to see if they have any. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Stop. If they have any number sense on that decimal placement and a situation. Okay? Then, instead of making them try every single one of these, just work through as many division problems as you feel comfortable with. Okay? You don't have to do every single one if some of them are like, oh my gosh, no. All right? All right. There we go. I need to stop. All right. That was just the pre-test. All right, Tuesday, on to the actual lessons. Here we go. I have you spending 2 days using estimation skills because that is super important. Gives them a better foundation here. And before you can actually estimate with division, we need to be good by using our basic facts to help us with bigger division problems when we're estimating. So this is doing a lesson with patterning in division. So here's a Google slide deck you can use to go through these if you want. So the first activity, you'd pass out this paper and it says try it out on your own. So they're going to try these problems out on their own. If they can figure out this basic fact, then we should be able to get these other ones. After they've had some time to try something on their own, then we come together and we're going to do problems that are similar, but not exactly the same as what they just did. And there's a reasoning behind that. Because after we've done this together, then you'd be like, okay, now that you have some understanding of what's happening, would you go back and change any of your answers? If so, do it now. You have 1 minute. And then go through the answers. So that's a certain strategy called, teaching strategy called mirroring, where you're not doing the exact problem that they're doing, but it looks almost exactly the same, like you're looking in a mirror. So how would you go through these? Now, that's the good question. I wrote right here the work of how to do that. It is a harder concept. You do not have to show this work every single time. I'd go the fast track route. But before you just fast track it and cross out the zeros, you want to show why that's happening. Some kids actually do care. And it is just a cool thing to see. It's good to know. So I'll go through that right now. So if I have this paper right here for you to print out, I'd open that up, print it out for the kids, front and back. And I'm just going to draw on it. I gave you the reasoning in your notes for, whoops, sorry. I need to change the mode on that. There we go. All right. So 240 divided by 30. This is what I showed you in the notes. So when we have a division symbol, that is the same thing as a fraction bar. And we learned that earlier in the year, but of course that won't stick automatically. So we write it like this. 240 divided by 30. It'll be written like this. And why does that help us? Because those zeros I lined up and I can just cancel them out. But why is that? Because this, if we're looking at the number in the front, because here is my basic fact that I want. And so I'm going to take that out and I'm going to say, well, that's 24 with a 0. But that's because technically you're multiplying by 10. And then down here, that's 3 with a 0, but that's 3 times 10. And then I can see my basic fact, and I can see the other part. And now 24 divided by 3 is 8, and 10 divided by 10 is 1. So 8 times 1 is 8. Now, yeah, the fast track is just, oh, I can eliminate the zeros. If there's a 0 on the top, I can eliminate with the 0 on the bottom, because that's really a 10 divided by 10. Okay, so really we just have 24 divided by 3, which is 8. In this one, if we fast track it right away, well, I'm not going to for you. I'm going to explain it. So there is my basic fact, 24 divided by 3. But then I have 2 zeros, but that's really, if I need 2 zeros, that's timesing by 100. And down here, just 1 0, that's timesing by 10. So here is my 8. And then 100 divided by 10 is 10. So 8 times 10 is 80. Now, no, they do not need to show that work all the time. But just to say, well, here I can cross out 1 0 and 1 0. That's a pair of zeros I can cancel out. You can cancel zeros easier when it's in fraction form, okay? And then you're able to see how many zeros should be on your answer after you get that basic fact out of there. And this stuff will help when we start estimating. So if I go back here, activity 2, the practice. Need to practice that over and 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 over. So in the Google slide deck, not that one, you would keep moving forward, and on their little mini whiteboards, we're going to practice again and again and again and again and again and again. Okay? And then I even have more practice. Practice page of problems. Okay? All right. And there's one challenge included if you so choose to use that practice page. Okay? All right. Then Wednesday. Yes, I included a lesson on Wednesday because there's a ski day and we need to get more math lessons in. So, first activity are 2 partners activities. And we're working on estimating. So first I'm going to start cruising because I'm almost at 15 minutes. Sorry guys. But here are the 2 activities. I have you doing a stand and annotate or whatever you want to do, but you pass this part out to a partner pair. And they're going to make their choice. They're going to put an X under whether they think this is reasonable or unreasonable. And maybe they have to include at least one piece of work justification for one of these together. Like, why did you choose that? You have to show the math of why. Not in every single one, but can you show at least one? And then have them come back and you're going to go through them together, each one. And you're going to estimate it together. And this is hard, but we can do hard things. So here is this paper. So there's the first activity. And maybe you just print this one-sided and on the back of it, they show their justification. Because then once they're done and they've turned that in, then maybe you go through and you pick which ones you liked on their reasonable or unreasonable, like their justification. You share some. It's also good for you to showcase how you estimate these. So on this one, you could use multiplication, go backwards and see if it's reasonable. The 7,500 times 3 give you something that's close to 2,419. No. But you can also go the other way. And this is kind of harder. But here we're dividing by 3. So now I need to take this number and make it friendlier to where I'm like, oh yeah, I can see a multiple of 3 in that number. Do I see one now? Is 2 a multiple of 3? No. Okay, let's go to 2 digits. Is 24? Yeah. So I'm going to say, all right, I'm just going to keep that 2,400. I'm estimating. So now 2,400 divided by 3. This is similar to yesterday. I have no zeros to cancel, so 24 divided by 3 is 8. And then I have 2 zeros. So I should get an answer that's 800. This says 7,500. That is heck no, not reasonable. Okay? If I go here and do that same thing, 5. All right, do I see a multiple of 5 in here? I start here. Is that a multiple of 5? No, but it's close. I'm going to go 2. 43. That's not a multiple of 5, but can I think of one that is close to that? Yes. 40 or 45? Let's go with 45. So I'm going to say 450. So that's about 90. Well, 90, that's pretty close to 80. That seems reasonable. Okay? So you go through it like that. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard stuff. So then I would pass this out, and it's the same exact thing. But now every kid has to cut and paste, put them in the right spot. And then on the back, they need to provide at least one piece of evidence, justification of their choice. Yeah, same exact thing. And then we're going to do another partner activity. Okay, now I'm going to pass out another one. And we're going to come back together and check afterward. So now they're multiple choice. So now if you keep scrolling down on this document, here it is right here. So pass it out. Now they have some choices to make, and they actually have to justify it with some sort of math.